Hey, what's going on guys, Tech here. So today I'm going to be making a video on 2 Reina habits that I've noticed while playing against beginner to intermediate rank Reina players. So I'm going to talk about why these habits can be bad, as I feel like in the long run, they can really hurt your gameplay. So the first habit I'm going to be talking about is Sentai 1+2. Now I think Sentai 1+2 is actually, like, it's a pretty good move, and I can understand why Reina players use it a lot. So I'm going to talk about why it's actually decent. So first of all, it's I-14, so it's not her fastest option out of Sentai stance. Like, she has Sentai 3 and Sentai 2 which are faster, but it's not like one of the slower ones like Sentai 4, 26 frames, Sentai 3+4, 20 frames. So it's at a decent speed, not too slow. Also, it tracks to her left side, so anyone who steps to the left, they'll just get hit by it. And also, the reward you get on hit, so on hit, you get a guaranteed Heaven's Wrath 2. Look at that, 51 damage, massive chunk. And also in heat, it becomes even deadlier because Heaven's Wrath 2 is a heat engager and it's a heat launcher. So you hold forward, you get a complete launch. So you can see why Reina players use it, because of how much reward you can get. So the particular situation I'm going to be talking about is 442 into Sentai 1+2. This is basically where you'll see it being used the most apart from combos. Now the problem with this move is basically once you rank up and you get to around like blue ranks and higher, people in these ranks have a lot of Reina knowledge, and they start, you know, developing counterplay. They know some counterplay to, you know, forward 4-2, and one of these counterplay, like the counterplay methods, is doing jabs, and this is something that beats Sentai 1+2. So if I get Kazuya to he's got set to jab, so oh wait, I need to get him to block first. So he's gonna do jabs after my 4-4-2, and it's gonna beat my Sentai 1+2. So they do jabs because it beats a couple of options like Sentai 2, it beats Sentai, well, it changes Sentai 3, it beats Sentai 4, well, it floats Sentai 4 for a combo, and it beats Sentai grab. So it beats a couple options right there, and it's really easy to do. So that's why you see a lot once you get to the higher ranks. So it beats Sentai 1+2, so it's already, you know, harder to use. But the main thing about Sentai 1+2 is the fact that it's punishable on block. And now, as a beginner, you might be like, hey yo, it says it's -6 on block. But the thing is, when Reina does Sentai 1+2, she immediately goes into Heaven's Wrath stance. So she's locked in the stance, and the only way she can block is if she does oh, Kazuya just gonna keep punishing me. So she has to do down forward and then hold back, but it's not very fast. So she leaves herself susceptible to moves 10 frame to 14 frames. Yeah, so she can't get launched at 15 frames, which is good. But yeah, anything below 15 frames, it is a punish. But the thing is, Reina can actually power crush because she goes into Heaven's Wrath and she has a power crush for Heaven's Wrath. So I think, yeah, Heaven's Wrath 1+2. So she has a power crush. I believe the armor starts up at the 6th frame. So she can actually beat some follow-ups. So I'm gonna get Reina, well, get Kaz. I think this is 1+2. So 2 hits. So I'm gonna do 4-4-2 into Sentai 1+2 and then do the power crush. It should beat the follow-up. Oh, never mind, I got into the wrong one. So you see there, that's a follow-up that does beat me. But she can beat some other follow-ups like that. So that's 12 frames. That's a 12 frame move Kazuya did, and it does beat, the power crush does beat that. But yeah, you can see that even though I'm doing the power crush, I'm still taking a punish. If the player does like a 10 frame or 11 frame move, I'm taking a punish whether or not I do a power crush. So I'm always taking a punish. And yeah, I've said that people in these ranks have the matchup knowledge, so you can't get away with that. Everybody knows how to deal with this move, and especially the power crush setup. It's a very common setup you'll see. So they'll even wait for this power crush. I've seen a lot of people, what they do is after this move, they just do a grab because they know you're going to do a power crush. So they grab you out of it. And sometimes, you know, if you're playing against King, you're taking a giant swing. So it becomes even more riskier. Or they just hold back and do a 13 frame punish as is, -13. So it just becomes really unsafe, and you can't really spam it as much as, you know, you used to be able to in the lower ranks, as people in those ranks don't know how to punish. So that's why I feel like you should, you know, use alternative mid. Sorry, I can't speak properly. And what I like to do against people who just have the knowledge, Sentai 2. Sentai 2 is 1 frame faster than Sentai 1+2. It's -4 on block, so not too negative. You can do some cheeky like high crit setups like back 4. And it also tracks to a right, so a lot of people do stuff left for Sentai as it does beat a couple options, but this tracks them, so you know, it's a good little move to use if they're trying to look for Sentai 1+2. Honestly, it's pretty good. So I recommend you once you get into the higher ranks, try to switch out Sentai 1+2 for Sentai 2, because even though you don't get as good a reward, you know, you don't get a knockdown into Heaven's Wrath 2, you get +8, and you're right in the face. +8 is pretty good. You get a lot of frames to play around with. You can do forward 4 and like other stuff. So it's honestly like, it's pretty underrated in my opinion. So you should really start doing Sentai 2 over Sentai 1+2 once you get to the higher ranks. Next hobby that I want to talk about is the use of CD44. Now I feel like you shouldn't really ever use CD44, as for the most part it's just inferior to CD42 into Heaven's Wrath in every way. So first of all, it does less damage, 24 damage, so it's 4 damage less. And it's only +2 without a stance transition. You can't really do much of this. You can't really pressure an opponent. Your +2 is like nothing, and you're in crouch. You can't even do your standing moves. So it's very bad in the neutral for pressure. This move is way better like for pressure and mix-ups. But the one situation where I think it's viable is for Oki, as sometimes you've probably noticed where you're on wake up, your CD42, depending on how they get up, your CD42 completely whiffs. And the thing is, CD42 is death on whiff, whereas CD44 is not as punishable on whiff. I think they can still get a punish, but with this move you're getting a launch punish. With this move you're taking like a little bit, you're taking like a jab punish or whatever, so it's not as bad on whiff. And also the second hit does hit grounded. If I set Kazuya to just sit on the floor. Not sit. Oh, he's still standing up. Wait, not sit. See, the second hit hits him. So it's decent in Oki, honestly. I feel like that's the only reason I'd use it. Like if I don't know if my opponent's gonna like stand up or not, if I feel like my opponent's just gonna stay on the floor, I would use the low health sweep, like the double low. But apart from that, I would not use this in neutral, which I feel like I've seen a couple Reina players use this in neutral, and I'm always like, why? Like, there's no reason to use this in neutral. Like, you can't really do anything off of it. It's just bad. So yeah, start using this health sweep instead. This is the message. Alright guys, so that's the end of the video. If you have any questions about anything I've said in this video, then please leave it down in the comment section below, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.